We out here in Miami, Florida, to the second annual Monrovia Express Liberian Independence Celebration. So right now we at the industry mixer right now. Everybody is here. We got the Penniless here. We got DJ Tony. We got Oliver. They're gonna be hitting the stage soon with the interview, kind of give you the insight how they got the way they are today. So tune in, stay tuned. We here.
Monrovia Express, Miami takeover.
She's wanna see no check up on business. After hour, Ghana in my styrofoam. She pumped tired after said she working Firestone. Not be free in the time, I'm not for Sarah Loan. The gas working, electricity, her butt checking. Now I'm nutty, I'm sweating, I got dry face. Face down, to my up, don't I tie big. I eat current, baby girl, where you going? Come drive me crazy with love, I got insurance. She French kiss.
We want to do something a little different. All people like party business. So we said before we start the weekend, we gonna give y'all some kind of little education, little industry mixer where we come together and we figure out how to get some information. We got some powerful people in the building right now. We got two young men now over here doing some amazing things. We got Oliver, who is official BL manager. I know you heard of something. There's a whole lot of money in this. I don't cuss, motherfucker. Yes, sir. And we got my dog DJ Tony in the building. Polo G official DJ, you know. So these cats, they from Liberia, they from where you come from. And they was able to come here, they was able to figure life out on the entertainment aspect. And then we got my boy that just got the only African food truck in Miami, Florida. Liberian food truck in Miami, Florida. Amazing. Amazing. Yes, sir. You eat somebody else food, you eat somebody else food. Yes, sir. And we also got young D from Detroit, born Liberian. He decided to go back home and start his own record label in Liberia. That's amazing. We have him, he's gonna be on here talking too. And then we got, we just gonna they men come and give y'all some information to life and how they went through the rough times and they was able to get to the top right now, because they're at the top. When I say top right now, they got some of the hottest artists they moving around with. Being one of the hottest female artists right now, back to back with y'all. London. What do you want me to tell him? Keep going? Okay. And we got, you know what Polo G doing. You know what Polo G out here doing. Tony on the road with him, they're moving around. They seeing life. So we got them here, they're gonna talk to y'all. So we got our moderator right here. Right now, she's gonna take the mic. Hold on, my bad. Before we start, right? We wanna pay a tribute to one of our artists, Liberian artists, who was kind of instrumental in the community. He passed away a few days ago from a car accident. He was a gospel artist. He was an amazing gospel artist. He was doing the music the right way, doing the right things. Moses Soiree. So we basically want to take this time and do a moment of silence for him. And yes, we want to take this time, just give it to him. So everybody, please, can we get a moment of silence for Moses? And DJ, you got one of Moses record in? You go find and go download it right now, my brother. It's a special moment right here. So we give a moment of silence to Moses, man.
Y'all doing? Let me introduce myself. My name is Serena Cooper. I am Liberian. I've been in Miami since 2005. I'm a fashion designer. Actually, Telfar was one of my first celebrity clientele, and I just debuted my swim line at Miami Swim Week last week. So, thank you. I also have a country cloth clothing line that I've had for over 6 years, and it's done really well. And I'm here to big up my country. I'm here to big up my people, no matter where I'm at on earth. So I'm really honored to be here as a moderator and to get some insight from some of Liberia's finest. So let's start. Right?
This is about pushing Liberia forward. To all of our vendors back there and some who will be throughout, thank you guys so much for coming through. Let's continue to move the culture forward.
Stefano, how are you? Thank you for being here today. I want you to just start off by telling your story.
Hi everybody. Alright. You good? Alright. You just put me on the spot. I didn't even know I was gonna be up there talking right now. Alright, my name is Anthony Fano III. I am Liberian born and raised. I was born during the war in Liberia, of course. Most of us know how that went. But we migrated to Liberia, to Cote d'Ivoire when that happened. And in the midst of that, I had separated from my mom. So currently, I've never even seen my mom, my biological mom, because of how we was raised. But I moved to Cote d'Ivoire, and then grew up there when I was about 12 years old. Came to the U.S. Did high school in Massachusetts. I actually did Virginia for a little bit, and I did high school in Massachusetts, in Worcester. And then I did college in North Carolina. I was at A&T, Aggie Pride.
A&T, Aggie Pride, woo-woo!
Word.
HBCU,
A-G-G-I-E, bro. But yeah, I went to HBCU in North Carolina, and then I moved back to Massachusetts to figure things out. When you're in your mid-20s, like, when you don't have passion for one thing, you're trying to figure things out. You like tapping everybody and figure things out. And I was doing events in North Carolina, and then cooking came upon where people were like asking for food during the events. And I was like, alright, I'll do it, because I was raised by about 4 to 5 women. And cooking was just a thing that just appeared to me, being around them, seeing what they were doing. And then when I went to North Carolina and that happened, people took to my food, people started coming to events. I have a team called Black Stars Entertainment. We brought Sarkodie, Shatawale, Bisa Kadir, Techno. I think even all in Charlotte, Raleigh, Durham area, around that area. But so then moving forward, I moved back home to Massachusetts trying to figure things out. I got my psychology degree, and I was a behavior analyst. I worked with autistic kids for about 5 years. And then during that time, I saved up because I figured out that I wanted to continue doing the cooking and events at the same time. So I knew I wanted to give me a food truck or a restaurant, one of those two. So working towards that goal, I was a behavior analyst working with autistic kids, teaching them how to best shape their behavior. So you just picture, you have a behavior and it's not right, and my job is to go through process with all my team to fix that process. But in that, it was a great job for 5 years, saved up, working my credit, and then all of a sudden I was able to get a loan from the bank. I found a truck. The truck was like this ice cream truck, but it was like empty in the back. And I reached out to the guy, and he told me that, hey, we can build this truck from scratch. So everything, once you guys follow me on Instagram, Fano_flavors on Instagram, the truck was like empty, and then everything in there is brand new. I put a stove, oven, a grill, everything in there. And then moving forward, like, I feel like sometimes every time these stories comes up, like, especially as black men in America and Africans, we go through so much shit to really get to where we need to get to. Like, it pains me when I tell these stories sometimes, because it's like, damn, I have to go through so much to really get to, but we keep going because we have a dream, we have a goal. So moving forward, I had just got my truck. I literally told God that I wanted to get my truck on my birthday as a gift to myself. From 2016, working up to now, I got my truck last year, November 14th, on my birthday. Like, it came, the truck came painted. Like I said, if you follow me, you'll see the painting, everything happened, and I got it the day of my birthday, deliver it. I was like, I just looked up, said my prayers and kept it moving, and knew it was next. So then Massachusetts, as we know, it's cold up there and whatnot. So moving forward, I was just like, I need to get this truck on the road. I need to do something. So I started to look around. Should I go back to North Carolina, or should I just spice it up? Because I'm always about new adventures. So I was like, all right, Miami, let me go up there. I knew a few people here. So I pulled up to Miami. I just moved here in January, so I'm still brand new to the state.
Woo!
Right, so the grind has been real, moving here, not knowing anybody, trying to put your food on the map. And it's Liberian food, and it's African food. And to tell y'all, like, this is one of my biggest passions. Every time we hear about African food, we hear Nigerian Ghanaians. And I know for a fact, we have no salt on their food, but I know for a fact we got great food. Right. So one of my passion, if you don't even buy food from me, just repost, shout me out, whatever it is. Because my goal is to put Liberian food in people's mouth. When they're talking about African food, we had Liberian, Ghanaian, and Nigerian, not just those two. So, because it pisses me off when I hear that. So that's my goal.
Where can we find you? Where can we find you?
All right. So right now in Miami, I'm located in the Miramar area, and I should be having a spot in the Wynwood, downtown Miami by next week, so I should be active. But if you follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Fana_Flavor, you should get in touch with me with anything. But that's my story on how I got to this area, and what I'm pushing right now is not just for me, but for all of us. It's for the culture. All right, thank you.
And I also, and I, like this guy, grew up around Massachusetts. My story, in a way, is somewhat similar to his. I went to school, played sports most of my life. Had no idea I would ever step foot in music, to be honest. I was always around music. My friends all did music. My father played music. Obviously, being a Liberian kid, you go to sleep with music. It's all you hear. I think the biggest change in my life, impact, came is when I graduated from college and basketball was over, and I went to Liberia for the first time in 2012. Being able to touch the soil and to see my relatives, and just to basically see, where my parents came from, where the food that I ate came from, you know what I'm saying? I felt like I had a home for the first time. Because I was born in America, but I always felt a disconnect. Like, I would take my food to lunch, and my food would be different than theirs. They eat pizza and shit, and I want palm butter, you know what I'm saying? So it was a little different for me. I didn't really fit in a way, it's like, I'm black, but I'm really an African kid, so it was a little different. So being able to go to Liberia, after graduating and just touch the soil and really just see my family and the people that, I've spoken to over the phone, really changed my life, because when I came back, I understood that I had opportunity. And a lot of kids will never get the chances that, us being born Liberians in America have. And so I never take that for granted, you know what I'm saying? So after that, I probably worked for a couple years in America and realized in my job, I had a business management degree, and I hated it. I couldn't work for anybody anymore. I couldn't work a 9 to 5 where people telling me when to come in. That wasn't who I was as a person. So me and the friends packed up and we moved to Hollywood about 6 years ago. And we had probably 2 contacts in our phone when we moved to Hollywood. We didn't really know anybody. But we just knew we was like hustlers and we was gonna put something together and figure some stuff out. And I think one of the biggest blessings for me is having a Liberian father, because he always taught me that you can really learn anything, you know what I'm saying, just about how bad you want to learn it. So going to LA, I spent a lot of hours just sitting in rooms and not saying a word, People don't know me. I became, from being a big fish in Boston and knowing everybody and really being able to call a lot of shots, to just living in LA, just, just in the room with all these celebrities and big names, but I'm trying to soak up as much information as I can so I can try to figure out what I want to do in my life. Because I knew I didn't want to go back home and do all the BS I was doing. It just so happened, all my friends were really talented, and after I learned, I say for about a year or 2, a guy by the name of Steve Rifkin gave me my first job. I was going there every day, following my homie, and I'm like, bro, if I don't get some money soon, I got to move back to Boston, so you got to put me on some, we got to get some money. And Steve Rifkin saw me coming to the office every day, saw how hungry I was. I wasn't getting paid, I was just kind of following the homie around. And he hired me. And I don't know if you know who Steve Rifkin is, but he signed Wu-Tang Clan, Big Pun, Heavy D, Remy Ma, Fat Joe. Like, he's one of the most influential men probably in the top 50 in the music business. So him giving me that resource and him basically giving me that first opportunity, that first job, after the company dissolved, after about like a year and a half, I felt like I had enough knowledge, and I had a lot of friends that were really dope at music, but they couldn't really get their chance to shine. And, some of those friends being Little Rich, and, Bia and a couple of my other friends, those are my friends from back home. At this time, we were just all sitting in the crib, like, trying to figure out what we were going to do next, because we were all trying to figure out a way to, move our careers forward. And one of the best things about being on the ground in LA is that I was able to build a lot of resources and contacts. But at the time, none of my artists had anywhere to record or make music, and we couldn't pay for studio time. So then once again, this is where having a Liberian father kicks in, right? So after him hearing me a million times, he kind of goes back to where we did our whole childhood, and that's build things. So he literally went on Google and figured out how to build a recording studio. And we flew out to LA, we went to Home Depot and built a recording studio in probably about like 2 months or so. And that recording studio is where like Bia did her last album. Like I have major label artists recording out of there. So that story's heartfelt for me because we really built that from the ground up. You know what I'm saying? It was really me and the homies and my dad like, yo, if you don't got the bread to put it together, we gonna just have to build it. You know? And that was something that he did with me since I was a kid. So to see it apply in my 20s, it's still like, if you don't have it, you can still build it. You know? Sometimes you're not gonna have it, so you gotta build it from the ground up. And here we are today. You know, I'm not gonna keep going too much longer, but that was kind of the start of it all. And you know, now we got multiple platinum records. We're touring the world. We're rolling out tomorrow, so it actually worked out that we're here today. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I'm very glad to be here. Thank y'all for having me, Biz. Thanks for inviting me. And yeah, I'm gonna pass the mic.
I go by the name of King D. My actual name is D Marhaba. My mom is Liberian, my dad is Lebanese. I was born in Liberia and raised in Liberia. When I moved there, I moved to Michigan. It's like, it's not a lot of Africans out there, and for sure not a lot of Liberians. So, you know, my cousin John, he's right there, you know, he started rapping, started singing, and he kind of inspired me to get into music. So when I went back home, I seen a lot of talent too, and I was like, you know, I would ask some kids like, yo, like, why don't you record? And he's like, bro, we got money to record. Bro, when I got money to eat, I will record. So it's like, I'm like, damn, how much is it to record? Oh, my probably gonna be charging me $20. Damn, $20? So that kind of like touched me because like we have like better opportunity out here to go to the studio, you know, even though it's a lot more to record out here, but you know, even if it's cheaper out there, it's still not accessible to a lot of people with talent. So I decided to open a record label, you know, obviously by like inspiration from my cousin and other people I knew. And thank you. So I'm in the process of building a recording studio in Liberia right now as we speak. And it's gonna be, you know, for all the up and coming artists, people that can't afford the studio time, it's gonna be free for them. And anybody that I feel like have the potential to make it a Mozzie Records, you know, they're gonna get signed. And you know, through music you can express your culture. You know, a lot of times we complain about Liberian music, you know, not being where it's supposed to be. But honestly, it's our responsibility to get it up there. You know, I have a lot of Nigerian friends, and some of them don't even listen to any other music but Nigerian music. And big ups to them, because like, you can't hate on them for supporting their culture. It's up to us to support our culture. So before you complain about Liberian music not getting up there, do you get tickets to the show? Do you pull up to the concert? You know, we gotta support each other. So, you know, I'm not gonna keep you guys, you know, here too long, but my urge to you guys is to support each other, support Liberian, whatever, music, food, you know, whatever anybody that's doing, because, you know, in the last few years, we've really been, I've seen a lot of people been doing big things, and especially in the Liberian community, and I've been watching and seeing a lot of people, like, what he's doing right now, like, I've been thinking about that for years, like, why is there not like a Liberian food truck? I would see like a Nigerian food truck, Ghanaian food truck, Jamaican food truck everywhere. When I heard he had a food truck out here way before I came out here, I was like, yo, that's dope. And I was like, I'll put up to his house as soon as I can, play PS4 at his house and you know, have food. It's all about support. We gotta support each other before we complain about other people not supporting us. So at the end of the day, I just ask everybody to help support each other, especially Liberian or African as a whole. And thank you all for coming.
Woo! How everybody doing? Everybody good? Sure. My name is Anthony DeWay, but I go by DJ Tony Tone. I'm 24 years old. I'm from Providence, Rhode Island. Both of my parents are from Liberia. I actually never been, but I'm planning on going December. I'm looking forward to it, honestly. I was 12 years old. My mom moved us to South Dakota, Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I graduated in 2015. I didn't know what I was going to do. So I just started working at factories, fast food jobs. I never liked authority though, so I couldn't keep a job for long. The longest I ever kept a job was probably like 2 months. Couldn't keep a job. So I just, one day I was at a house party, And I DJ'd on my phone. I plugged my phone into the aux cord, and then everybody was dancing in the party. So one of my friends, his name is Moses, he actually passed away, but he was like, why don't you become a DJ? So I started DJing in 2016. I really wasn't serious with it until 2018 when I got my first big show, which was Lil Durk.
Woo!
I kept going with it, kept going with it. I actually was gonna stop in 2018, that same year, because it wasn't bringing in no money. So one day I was like, one day I had applied for a job Friday, and I was supposed to start, I applied for a job like a Friday, and 2 weeks later I was supposed to start the job on Monday. So Saturday I was emailing a whole bunch of artists, and Polo G's mom emailed me back like, we'll give you a tryout, just you gotta pay your own way to come to a show. That's good. So I paid my way to the show. I DJ for him that one show, and then he was like, I like you, you can join the team. A little bit after that, he signed me to his record label, ODA. It's actually a branch off of Columbia Records, so I'm signing Columbia Records. I'm a producer also, I didn't say that, I'm sorry. I produce for Rod Wave, Polo, G Herbo, a lot of different artists. And I've been doing that for like 3 years now. It's been great. I'm taking it all in. I'm honestly kind of new to this. I'm taking it all in. I'm enjoying it. I can't lie. I just thank you for giving me an opportunity to come up here and talk to you. I appreciate you. Everybody clap for him one time, though, making this happen. I appreciate every one of you guys for coming too. I'm not gonna hold y'all up, though. I appreciate y'all. I'm DJ Tony Tone.
I gotta say one more thing. Shout out to everybody that made it out here. If you made it out of Miami, you're automatically a big dog, that's for sure. And two, I want to say thanks to Monrovia Express, thanks to J-Biz, everybody that organized this. Like, it's starting off like this, you already know it's gonna get bigger. This for the culture. I appreciate everybody that's supporting this, my brother. Since I met these dudes, been nothing but real to me. And I appreciate you guys coming out. Let's turn up this weekend and have fun. All positive vibes. Mozzie Records.
Better rap, on it, fuck. You see how fishy that, y'all?